Andarki Namaskaram, welcome to our channel Vidya Unnati. Let us start our video with a quotation. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. This inspirational quote by Confucius, who was a Chinese teacher and philosopher, reminds us to be not afraid of risks. If and when plans don't work out, rise up and try again. This quote teaches us to never give up no matter what. Whether it is a small situation or a fairly large one, we must not give up. Instead, we should get back up and start again. Even if you may not win the situation, you should still prove that you can do as best as possible, even when you will lose. Not only does that give the opposite side more respect for you, it gives you more reason to respect yourself. Coming to our video, in this video we are going to know about basics of history. The topics covered in this video are what is history, importance of history, dating systems, chronology in history, importance of chronology, division of history, and historical sources. Let us start with what history means. History is the study of life in society in the past, in all its aspects, in relation to present developments and future hopes. We can say that history is the story of a man in time, an inquiry into the past based on evidence. Let us get into the detail about history. History is the systematic study and documentation of the human past. Here, documentation is a material that serves as a record. History is not just about the study and information regarding past, it is also about different areas like discovery, collection, and interpretation of the past as well. So we can say that history is an umbrella term comprising past events as well as the memory, discovery, collection, organization, presentation, and interpretation of these events. The English word history is derived from the Greek word historia, meaning research, inquiry, or investigation. The Greek historian Herodotus was the first real historian of the world. He wrote only one book, the Histories, in 430 BC. The Histories, which was written by Herodotus, describes the background and events of the Greek-Iranian wars. First of all, the Roman philosopher Cicero called Herodotus as the father of history. The German historian Leopold von Ranke is known as the father of the modern history. According to Ranke, the task of historian was to describe the past as it actually was, with no more add-ons. Actually, why is it important to study history? History gives us a chronological and systematic account of the past. It is necessary to study history because it reveals our past, helps us to understand who we are, where we come from, and can possibly reveal where we will be heading to. So we can say that through history we can know about our past and future as well. In fact, studying our past gives us an opportunity to create our future in a more meaningful way. History gives us the tools to analyze and explain problems in the past. It positions us to see patterns that might otherwise be invisible in the present, thus providing a crucial perspective for understanding and solving both the current and future problems. History introduces the idea of human existence. It gives a sense of identity, cultural and social background, and meaning in life. It also teaches us about various human affairs, including religious affairs, political affairs, and regional boundaries. Now, let us know about benefits of studying history. Better understanding of the world. History is a subject that helps us understand different societies, ideologies, systems, cultures, and governments. One of the most important reasons why do we study history is the need to know about how the old systems of society work. History can be inspiring at times. History is a combination of great stories of the past. Some are about nations while others are about great heroes. The historical stories of great heroes can create a sense of greatness in us. We remember our real life heroes' brilliance and contributions towards the formation of a better world we are living in today. Also, history inspires us to become great personalities by developing our perspective and the way we adapt to everything around us. For example, we can take Mahatma Gandhi, who is father of our nation, from whom we can learn to follow the path of non-violence. And another example we can take is Mother Teresa, help, from whom we can learn helping nature. History teaches us about the past mistakes. Remembering the past is essential never to repeat the same mistake. For example, the repetition of World War has proven to be the biggest mistake in history of mankind. In addition, learning history helps to identify the wrong ways and the right ones, provides a sense of better citizenship. If you want to know how can we know about the past, you can study the great freedom movements in the history books. These incidents help us to understand not only what the great personalities have done for our nation, but they also bring a sense of nationality in us. History helps us in building up critical thinking. Critical thinking is a kind of thinking in which you question, analyze, interpret, evaluate, and make a judgment about what you read, hear, say, or write. Since history is a vast subject covering multiple areas, reading various history books can help us build strong critical thinking. As a result, we can learn to think with a more flexible mind and we can also approach things in a better way. Recognizes the current warnings. History is not just a subject that helps to learn about past mistakes. People need to analyze past incidents to prevent or avoid anything similar in the future. Our next topic is about dating systems in history. Dating systems often reflect the people and entities most significant to a culture. All of us tend to use the most significant dates in our lives as reference points for all the others. For example, we think of our age in reference to the year we were born. As important years are widely used as reference points in the lives of individuals, so they are for entire cultures, and they often vary from culture to culture. Just as in an individual's life, some birth dates may be so important that the whole culture chooses them as the reference point for its dating system. The birth of Jesus Christ is the prime example. In this video, we are going to learn about two most used dating systems in history: BC and AD dating system and BCE and CE dating system. BC and AD dating system. It uses Jesus Christ's birth year as the 0 point. All the other years are based upon that one, which is a 0 point. BC is the acronym of Before Christ. This is an English phrase meaning before the birth of Jesus Christ. So the years before the birth of Jesus Christ are known as Before Christ and denoted as BC in short. AD is the acronym of Anno Domini. This is a Latin phrase meaning in the year of Lord Jesus Christ. So the years begin with the birth of Jesus Christ are known as Anno Domini and it is denoted as AD in short. This is the timeline of BC and AD dating system. Here we can see that the green line shows the 0 point, which is the birth of Jesus Christ. The, the previous years of the 0 point are before Christ, and the after years of the 0 point are AD. Here we can observe one thing is that The numerical values of the years in BC are in decreasing order, whereas the numerical values of the years in AD are in increasing order. Here it is clearly visible that 3 BC is followed by 2 BC, 2 BC is followed by 1 BC. In AD side, AD1 is followed by AD2 and AD2 is followed by AD3. Hope you all understand it. Next is BCE and CE dating system. The CE stands for Common Era or Current Era, while BCE stands for Before the Common Era or Before the Current Era. The movement towards BCE and CE has not been universally accepted, and BC and AD is still more widely used. It has also been argued that BCE and CE is in fact less religiously inclusive than BC and AD. According to some, BCE and CE elevates the importance of Christ's birth to the start of an entirely new common era, while BC and AD is a simple reference to the event. The BCE and CE or BC and AD distinction is usually unnecessary outside historical contexts, and it is generally understood that when unspecified, the year in the question is CE or AD. As a result, dates that occurred within the last few centuries are rarely marked with CE or AD. Let us know about some writing conventions of the dating systems in history. First one is BC should appear after the numerical year, while AD should appear before it. For example, 1200 BC and AD 966. Here we can see that BC is after the numerical year and AD is before the numerical year 966. Next one is BCE and CE should both appear after the numerical year. For example, 1200 BCE and 966 CE. Here we can see that both BCE and CE are after the numerical years 1200 and 966 respectively. Our next convention is, as in the case of merged initialisms, periods may be used after each letter. For example, 1200 B dot C dot and A dot A dot A dot D dot 966 and 1200 B dot C dot E and 966 C dot E. Here periods means dots. Hoping you all got it. Hoping you all got it. This is the timeline for both BC and AD dating system, BC AD dating system and BCE and CE dating system. Here we can observe that both BC and AD are referred as Christian term and BCE and CE are referred as secular term. Here one more thing is clear that it is similar whether it is 1 BC or 1 BCE, 2 BC or 2 BCE, 3 BC or 3 BCE, etc. And it is also similar that AD1 or 1 CE, AD2 or 2 CE, AD3 or 3 CE, etc. In the last few slides, we are coming through the words acronym and initialism. Even though it is different from subject, it is better to know about it. In acronym, initials are said as a word like PIN, P from personal, I from identification, N from number, which are from personal identification number as whole. And acronym are pronounced by saying it as a word. In initialism, initials are said as letters. For example, C from criminal, I from investigation, D from department. From criminal investigation department as whole. In initialism, it is pronounced by spelling of the letters as CID. Acronym means spelling it as a word. Initialism means we spelling it as letters. Hope you all got it. By the way, don't mind my handwriting. Thank you. Our next topic is time glossary. The glossary concerned with the time is known as time glossary. Decade is the period of 10 years. First half of a century is the period of first 50 years of a century. Second half of a century is the period of last 50 years of a century. Century is the period of 100 years. Millennium is the period of 1000 years. Circa is used with the date if the exact date is not known. In short, circa is denoted as CA or C. For example, c. 2500 BC to 1750 BC, the Harappan culture period means that the exact date of Harappan culture period is not known, but it is somewhat close to that time. మనం ఏదైనా ఒక పర్టికులర్ టైం పీరియడ్ ముందు సిఏ అని కానీ పెట్టామంటే ఆ పర్టికులర్ టైం పీరియడ్లో జరిగినది జరిగినది కరెక్ట్ టైం అయి ఉండొచ్చు కాకపోవచ్చు, కానీ దానికి సరౌండింగ్లో ఉంటుంది. ఎగ్జాంపుల్కి సి 2500 BC 1750 BC ద హరప్పన్ కల్చర్ పీరియడ్ అని అన్నామంటే హరప్పన్ పీరియడ్ అనేది 2500 BC నుంచి 1750 BC లోపల జరిగి ఉండొచ్చు, జరిగి ఉండకపోవచ్చు కరెక్ట్గా, కానీ దానికి దగ్గరలో జరిగి ఉంటుంది అని అర్థం. Now let us take some examples regarding the time glossary. We will start with decade period. As decade is a time period of 10 years, first decade of 21st century AD means from the years 2001 to 2010. Fifth decade of 20th century AD means 1941 to 1950. As century is the time period of 100 years, 4th century BC means 4th century BC covers from the year 400 BC to 301 BC. 20th century AD means from the year 1901 AD to 2000 AD. As millennium is the period of 1000 years, first millennium BC means years from 1000 BC to 1 BC, and second millennium AD means years from 1001 AD to 2000 AD. Hope you all got it. Our next topic is chronology in history. Chronology is the science of arranging events in their order of occurrence in time. For example, the use of a timeline and sequence of events. The take of chronology, simple as it may seem, is a fundamental skill of any historian. By chronology, we mean what happened in which order. Chronology is important because the exact order in which events occur helps us understand the cause and the effect of those events, and thereby allows us to step back and view the big picture of history, how and why events unfold in the way they do and how they are related. Why is it important? What is the importance of chronology in history? Chronology is crucial in history for several reasons. Understanding the sequence of events. Chronology helps historians to understand the sequence of events that occurred in the past. It enables them to determine the cause and effect of different events and how they led to significant historical developments. Establishing a timeline. Chronology helps in establishing a timeline of events in history. This timeline helps historians to understand the duration of different events and how they relate to each other. Identifying patterns and trends. By studying the sequence of events, historians can identify similarities and differences between historical periods. This helps in understanding how different historical events are connected and how they have influenced each other. Providing context. Chronology provides context for historical events. It helps historians to understand the socio-economic, political, and cultural factors that influenced historical development. Facilitating historical analysis. To facilitate means making an action or process easy or easier. In Telugulo మనం దాన్ని సులభతరం అని అంటాం. Chronology facilitates historical analysis by providing a framework for organizing historical information. It helps historians to analyze the causes and effects of historical events. Our next topic is division of history. We try and divide history into different periods in order to capture the characteristics of time. Also, it is done to capture the central features of that particular time. It is important to demarcate or separate the difference between periods as they reflect our ideas about the past. The first part division of history is bipartite division of history. Bipartite means composed of two parts. The bipartite division of history is a way of dividing history into two distinct periods. In this history, it is divided into prehistoric and historic. The period that have no written evidences is called prehistoric period, and the period that have written evidences is known as historic period. In other words, the period before the beginning of writing is known as prehistoric period, and the period after the beginning of writing is known as historic period. Prehistory is also called as pre-literary history. Next type of division is tripartite division of history. Tripartite means composed of three parts. The tripartite division of history is a way of dividing history into three distinct periods. This division of history is more prevalent or widespread in practice. According to this, history is divided into prehistoric, protohistoric, and historic. Prehistoric period is the period for which no written evidence is available. Protohistoric period is the period for which written evidence is available, but the script has not been deciphered yet. The period for which written evidence is available is called as historic period. Another tripartite division of history is ancient history, medieval history, and modern history. This division became standard model for history. Our last topic for the video are historical sources. Historical sources are the sources which helps us in understanding the study of past. Historical source is an original source that contains important historical information. These sources are something that inform us about history at most basic level and are used as clues in order to study history. There are two types of historical sources, literary sources and archaeological sources. With the comparison of literary sources, the archaeological sources are believed more reliable because it is almost impossible to change it. Reliable means able to be trusted. తెలుగులో మనం దాన్ని నమ్మదగిన అని కానీ సత్యమైన అని కానీ అంటాం. First, let us know about literary sources. Literary sources are the sources which are in written form. History can be studied through them by reading it. Let us know more about it. Literary sources are the information which is in written form, and their sources are journals, letters, books, reports, documents, etc. These are useful because they provide detailed information on the objects and events of the past. People used it in write holy texts, chronicles of rulers, letters, and teachings of saints. petitions and judicial records and registers of accounts and taxes. Literary sources comprises of oral sources, religious sources, secular literature and foreign accounts. Here chronicles are the records which are in a factual and detailed way. Oral sources, the various forms of literature which are traditionally passed on from one generation to the other by the word of mouth are called oral sources of history. Oral sources reveal various aspects of people's lives. Some of the examples of oral sources are myths, folk songs, shlokas, proverbs, epics, etc. Religious literature. Religious literature does play an important role in bringing out the socio-political history of any society. For instance, if we take the example of the Indian subcontinent, where religion played a pivotal role, we find Vedas and Puranas being religiously followed in every household. Pivotal means crucial. Secular literature. Secular literature generally means literature having no religious context. In other words, a text consisted of worldly things. Worldly things means related to or consisting of physical things and ordinary life rather than spiritual things. These were the sources which enlightened us about administration, rules and regulations, etc. of an empire. Foreign accounts. In tracing any country's history, foreign accounts carry crucial significance. These are basically accounts written by travelers of other countries during their travel in the concerned city or country. Archaeological sources. Archaeological sources are the artifacts or material remains which helps in studying past through examining it. Archaeological sources are artifacts that can give an idea of the time period in which they are found. Examples can include the architecture of a building, a coin with impression of a ruler, an inscription, human remains, weapons, etc. Archaeological sources aid in reconstructing ancient civilizations by revealing social, political, and economic structures. Archaeology is the study of the ancient and recent human past through material remains. These sources are categorized into inscriptions, coins, and monuments. ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్స్ని తెలుగులో మనం శాసనాలు అని అంటాం. మాన్యుమెంట్స్ని తెలుగులో స్మారక కట్టడాలు అని అంటాం. Inscriptions. The inscriptions are the most important sources among archaeological sources. The study of inscription is known as epigraphy, and the person who studied it as epigraphist. The inscriptions are divided into indigenous and foreign. Indigenous means native. Coins. Coins help us a great deal to know about history. These coins confirm, revise, change, or extend the facts received from literary sources. కాయిన్స్ని ఉపయోగించి లిటరరీ సోర్సెస్లో ఉన్న విషయాలు కరెక్టో కాదో అని మనం చాలా వరకు తెలుసుకోవచ్చు. కాయిన్స్ ఆర్ ఆఫ్ వేరియస్ ఫార్మ్స్: కాపర్, సిల్వర్, గోల్డ్ అండ్ అదర్స్. The study of coins is known as numismatics, and the person who studied it as numismatist. For the convenience to the study, the coins are divided into indigenous and foreign. Monuments. Under the monuments, all the artistic works concerned with archaeology, sculpture, painting, etc. are included. Through the study of monuments, we know the history of development of art. Besides this, it throws light on religious, socio-economic conditions of that time. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching by making your time. Like the video if you learned something new today. Use comment section for any queries or let me know what you learned today. Share the video with your family and friends who are interested in learning and subscribe to the channel for the more updates. Thank you so much. Take care and meet you in the next video.